Taysom Hill, Drew Brees. That's the big conversation this week. Kind of a two-part question. Who do you think will play, and then who do you want to play?
I think it is wise for the Saints to just get Drew Brees healthy for the playoffs. Like, really,
Yeah.
nothing else matters. I mean, the 1 seed would be lovely for them, in the similar way that it would be for the Chiefs. Like, hey, you get an extra week off.
Mm-hmm.
I would advise the Saints to play Taysom Hill. That is against everything I want in this game. Like, I think Taysom Hill will play. They've only lost 1 game with him as a starter, and that was last week, obviously, when with the Eagles. And part of that was, the Saints didn't know what to expect from the Eagles because Jalen Hurts was playing his first time as a starter. Right. That always kind of gives the team an emotional lift and a schematic advantage because you're just like, we haven't seen anything. Hell, there aren't even preseason games of tape with Jalen Hurts just because he was a rookie in a pandemic year. I want them to play Drew Brees. I want it so bad because as a historical fan of this league and as a reporter, you just want to see great drama. And we've gotten so much out of the Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, saga. I would love a little bit of Drew Brees, Mahomes. It probably won't happen. Although, hey, Drew Brees is practicing this week. So they'll have to make a decision on Sunday, I assume. I assume they're going to stretch this all the way. The Saints will all the way up until, when we have to know who the inactives and actives are about 90 minutes before kickoff. But Drew's going to practice this week. It sounds like it's going okay, but you don't want to rush him back and then have Chris Jones hit, Drew Brees, and then he's not ready for the playoffs at all. You don't need a setback. And look, Chris Jones is a big man. I want to warn Drew Brees that maybe you don't need to play right now, but for entertainment's sake, if you wanted to see like a true shootout, like if everything was perfect, Mike Remmers would obviously feel better today. Eric Fisher would be back on the practice field. You'd have the majority of the guys available on the Chiefs side, and then out of nowhere, here comes Drew Brees, and we can have a true shootout. So maybe both teams could get in the 30s. It would be incredible to watch. Who has the ball last, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I want that to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. And, Taysom Hill, it's a unusual experience at quarterback because I think he can throw the ball deep. It just takes a little bit longer than the average professional quarterback to get it there. So it would be fascinating for the Chiefs to score quickly and then be like, okay, Taysom, like, keep up. Like, just here's the ball. Go get a touchdown. Like, just go be surgical down the field. And I don't know if the Saints really want that. It's such a different complexions of the game, right? If Drew's on the field, I feel like they feel like, okay, all systems go. We can use Michael Thomas. We can use Alvin Kamara. We can get, Sanders some touches too, and we can really go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs offense. If it's Taysom Hill, I think they have to be more, system-based, simplistic, and a little wonky to keep the Chiefs off balance on defense.
So you might have just answered this question, and it might not be a very good question at all. That's not a very good way to preface a question, I guess.
No, I'm sure you're fine.
But who do you think proves to be a bigger threat for the Chiefs, with Drew Brees or Taysom Hill? Because we know that the Chiefs aren't very good at defending the run, and Taysom Hill has kind of made his money on the run. So I don't know if that kind of adds a wrinkle that the Chiefs could struggle to defend.
Yeah, well, they haven't really seen a running quarterback since Lamar Jackson, week 3. Derek Carr has mobility in the pocket that has been really impressive to watch this season. Obviously, he's had success against the Chiefs. I wanted Josh Allen to run the ball more just because I know more chaotic things can happen when the Bills quarterback starts to do things that are like you're not Patrick Mahomes. Don't do that. But kind of do it because I want to see how bad it gets. So he didn't give me the Josh Allen I wanted, but he's mobile, obviously. Teddy Bridgewater did have that one snap I remember where it was like 3rd and long and he sort of launched himself into the air. So that was an element that made Carolina more explosive than maybe the Chiefs had expected. So maybe that's what the more I think about this, maybe that's more what Taysom Hill needs to do, where you can be accurate, which is asking a lot because I think, Teddy Bridgewater is more accurate than Taysom Hill is.
I'd agree.
But you kind of need to be accurate. You need to extend the player to stretch the discipline and the responsibilities of the Chiefs defense in certain spots of the field. And you're right. When they get into the red zone, the Saints are very good about saying, hey, it's basically high school football now. Like we have 10 guys who are blocking for one man. It's not the usual equation because the quarterback hands the ball off and we tell him, don't you do anything else. But now we're going to direct snap it to the quarterback. He's become the running back. And now we have 10 blockers in front of him. So that's honestly how they beat the Denver Broncos, because I was one of the few people in this world who were like, I'm going to watch every snap of Kendall Hilton at quarterback. And so, the Broncos played pretty good defense. I think that gets lost in that wild game where the Broncos had no quarterbacks. Was they played good defense, and then the Saints figured out that, okay, we're only passing to set up the run more, and in short yardage situations, that's where it'll be key. So can he have the play where it sort of surprises Tyrann Mathieu or Juan Thornhill in the back end, but can you move the ball far enough to be like, okay, now we're at the 15-yard line. Let's get to what Taysom is really good at, which is like option, direct snaps, off tackles, these sort of runs that you don't see in the NFL from a quarterback, but he's bigger, he's pretty strong, and obviously he's a football player. It's just I'm not sure if he's like a true quarterback, which is what this experiment was supposed to show, and I'm not sure he's done it yet. But if he beats the Chiefs, then he can sort of say to himself that, like, hey, I beat Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback. Not many good quarterbacks even get to say that, right? So it's football's weird. I enjoy all the weirdness, but I do think for Sean Payton, the responsibility is just get Taysom Hill to the 20-yard line. And then when that happens, it's upon Taysom Hill to say, can I run the ball effectively, and can I not make a mistake such as a turnover or a poor decision to where we get 7 points instead of 3?